Hi, my name is Steve DiDomenico, and I'm from the Teaching Assistant Project at Rutgers University. Today I want to tell you about a tip related to the types of titles that you give your lecture, the lectures in your course. And these are the ones that you list in your syllabus. They could vary from having very simple topics all the way to things that might actually draw the students in just by reading them. And that's what we want to aim for. Oftentimes we can let textbooks dictate the ways that we teach our classes. This means you open up the textbook, you see the table of contents, chapter 5 on the self, chapter 6 on culture, and those are the exact same topics that we put in the syllabus. Now, we can actually be a lot more creative and show that we are actually kind of using our own kind of point of view that is going to supplement the textbook. Alternative to using these kinds of creative topics, just creative ways of phrasing those typical topics, is that you can actually write each of these lecture titles as some kind of thought-provoking critical questions. So for instance, in a large introductory class that I'll be teaching this year, we typically have a couple lectures on language, and we could just call the lecture Language 1 and 2, the sequel. But instead, another way of doing that is that we could actually ask some kind of question that gets at what we're really going to be focusing on in a communication class. So it could be, how do two people negotiate meaning when they get together? Or we'll just leave it at that for now. So these questions are a great way to kind of draw people in addition to just kind of having these things as statements, because it creates this kind of structure where you have your students come into these sessions and you're working through these puzzles or these mysteries. And it's not that you're just disseminating information, you're actually going to be solving them together. And so your students might have more interest in coming to sit in their seats in the actual class because they want to see how the larger narrative of your class is going to unfold over time as you weave all these different puzzles together. All right. And then a final different kind of piece of this is that if you did want to frame all your lectures, your lecture topics as questions, you could actually end each session by giving a kind of general answer to that question that kind of synthesizes all the stuff that you cover within that lecture. So again, this kind of follows a kind of rhetorical style where you are trying to get the students to understand what your routine is and how you present information. And I think sometimes the best way to keep students on a good note-taking kick is to alert them to the ways that you structure your information and kind of follow that to a T as much as you can. Okay, so that's your quick teaching tip today, and we'll see you next time.